Welcome to the Anil Show. All right, so I know how y'all work. Y'all are coming to the channel to see exactly, all right, O'Neill, Anthony has done this, and yes, Anthony is terrible. He's whatever it is, you're gonna give me all of that. But O'Neill has a duty, and my duty is to ensure that I give the most balanced critique of the entire thing. So let's get into it. Please be advised.
You think Anthony is a good man?
I believe Anthony is a good man. From what I've seen, I believe he's a good man.
You think you know him better than me?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Okay, so the argument is if he's a good man at all. Well, okay. Well, here's my argument. Is Amber a good woman? Right? I think we can say she has great moments. Yeah, we can say that. We can say she has a lot of great moments. But we can also say there are moments in there that is to be questioned. So that's what's going on as far as that is concerned. That's that. Is Anthony a good man? That's a good question. I think Anthony is a manipulating kind of a man, right? And I think that Anthony is a man that needs to learn his lessons so that way he can somewhat change as to how he goes about things. Let's start right there for baseline.
Do you remember Shayla?
Mm-hmm.
My friend Shayla.
Yeah, I remember Shayla. The one who come in here and talk about gluten-free. Yeah, I remember her.
Where her and Anthony share a son together.
Okay, so when you give this now, you're expecting to drop a bomb. So do you remember Shayla, my friend Shayla? So for those who say that is not her friend, note what she's calling her now, her friend. So you do. Here's what you don't get to do. You don't get to complain about the man that is causing the issues in your marriage, where they say, okay, the husband has been terrible. You don't get to complain about the husband, but don't complain about your friend who was also with your husband. You don't get a chance for that. You don't get that chance. And that's what I'm saying. This is what's causing the issues in people's minds. What they're seeing is a double standard in Amber's mind as to how she ratios things. She's okay with her friend who slept with her husband and had a whole baby with him, but she's not okay with her husband. That don't make sense. This is why she looks very, very suspect, and why we are having a lot of banter back and forth as far as the Amber character is concerned. Here you go again.
He didn't tell you that part, huh? He didn't tell you how he slept with my best friend. How he lied to me. How he had a baby with her. He didn't tell you how he left me, Shana.
Again, Anthony never tell her those parts, right? So yeah, so Anthony never tell them parts as well too. So him leave all of that out of the story. What's happening is like a hate campaign between both of them. Both of them are having a hate campaign happening where they're just both going at a bunch of hates and them spreading as much propaganda as they can possibly spread out there. That's what I'm seeing with everything in itself. It's a hate campaign between both of them. Both Amber and Anthony are giving this campaign as you go along. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Did he tell you that I caught him in bed with Shayla at the lake house that he took me to for our anniversary? Did he tell you how he paid her rent, paid all her bills, and left me broken? Left me childless. How I lost my baby.
So let's stop right there, sir. How did you lose your baby? This is why now all of this facade that she's putting on can't work. How did Amber lose her baby? Let's get into it, because that's what I'm saying. When she does these things and she go down these roads, it is a men are bad, the woman is good. And it cannot work. You must be balanced in your thinking. And this is why I'm saying I'm challenging the Amber character that she's not sound. This is why I'm a challenger that she's not sound. Let's go down this baby road one more time. How did Amber get left childless? She had the debacle with Shayla. Right? Punch Shayla in the eye, whatever else it is. Shayla called the police on her. The police come in. Well, CPS basically the report was filed. CPS found out, or the adoption agency found out, came and took the child. So in other words, the person who let you lose your child is Shayla. So the question is, go back to the front of the skit. Why is Shayla still a friend? This is why the Amber character is questionable, because she has these things lumped up together that she's trying to use to make as her stance for divorce. But she, which is fair and plausible, and nothing is wrong with that. You can use that to say, okay, I'm gonna get a divorce, but you don't as well get a chance to say, okay, I want empathy from the audience right here, but at the same point in time, I want to be friends with Shayla in the same breath. It cannot work. It can't work. It cannot work. Then it begins to look like basically, like what Ben is saying, that you're a user and you're a cheat. It starts looking like that because your take on the entire scenario is not balanced. You can't do one thing in one breath and then it's doing the opposite in the next breath, but it's saying that, well, we need, sympathy here, but nothing here. It doesn't make sense. That is what I'm talking about. Let's discuss it. How you lose the baby? Because it's not Anthony make you lose the baby. Did you are you gonna tell Miss Shana that? You shouldn't even be talking to Miss Shana in the first place. But since we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. This is why I don't go down this road with this story.
They broke me, Shana. And I stayed in this marriage because of all the things that you are judging me for. I felt like it was my fault.
So then I was correct because I said this the other day. Did Amber get married and stayed in this marriage because of what she was doing with Wayne? Some people told me no, and I said that's exactly why she's here. In other words, she has been pretending because of the Wayne situation. The Wayne situation has made Amber pretend all throughout, but people act like I didn't know what was going on or I wasn't saying whatever it was. Yes. So also part of this entire thing is that Amber is in this marriage under pretense. That is the truth. She'd just give it to you just now. I surmise this fear now, whether the writers are going off of what O'Neill says or not. That's what they're showing me. They're showing me that because of her incident with Wayne, that's why she behaved the way she behaved in the marriage. So the real Amber was never in the marriage. That is exactly what the writers are trying to communicate to you, the audience. Now, if you take it, I don't know. If you're an Amber fan, you probably won't take it because according to you, Anthony's the devil.
It was what I deserved. And I tried to be the godly woman that I knew I was supposed to be. And I stayed in this marriage. I stayed in this marriage even though I was broken, even though I was not fully healed, Shana. But not anymore. I am leaving for my peace.
Are you really leaving for peace? This is where I'm going to question it. Because yes, you're still in the marriage because you no longer want to be broken. I understand that. So why are you staying in the friendship with Shayla? What's the friendship about? That would mean that you're doing the same thing, which is exactly why I question the learning curve. Because if you're saying, look, and again, she comes with these entire things. If you're saying you're staying in the marriage because you want the peace and you should have been the woman that you should have been, and these various, then why? And that you pretended because basically the guilt from Wayne, you carry that over, and so you basically try to play a subservient role to Anthony as much as you possibly could, to mum yourself, then in other words. We're seeing the real you now with Dave, but you mum yourself when it comes to Anthony because you were trying to use the Wayne thing was always a thing that had you. My question is, what is the Shayla thing? That is now my question. What is the Shayla thing? Every single time, because they cannot go without each other. The Shayla thing is a thing. The Shayla thing is a thing. She will be challenged on this. This is where the next side of the audience is going to challenge you. Because it seems, and I showed y'all, it's a damsel in distress move. Una might not like what O'Neill is saying, because I know it's hard to swallow. It sounds like it's harsh, but in a harsh. I'm just speaking the truth and giving you the facts. Can't use the baby that you lost because the baby you lost is because of Shayla. Why is Shayla still there? Can't use the other baby that you lost because the other baby that you lost is, again, yes, Anthony is involved in it, but it's also because of Shayla, because of the stress that Shayla was making sure that Anthony put you through at the same point in time. What were those?
for my joy, for my healing. Because you think he's a good man. Why? Because he looks good. He drives a nice car. He's a businessman. Oh, this man put me through hell. And I know what I did. I know what I did, but I will not continue to beat myself up for that and live a life of hell and misery.
So basically, you know what you did, which is fine. So you won't put up with that. And I'm glad that you are taking the power back from Anthony. But what about the power from Shayla? What about that power? Because that power is going to come back again. Like I've said before, if Shayla remains friends with you, all of that is going to come back. All of the misery going to come back. If the root cause is not gone, then it will come back. Let's be very, very fair and let's be very, very real. Before Shayla happened to the marriage, was there anything more than basically Anthony stating same own this or he owns that, and then him run out of some money here and there, which are regular divorce, regular marriage issues. Go to any marriage and you'll find that in any marriage. So the people who say, well, he's lying about the money thing, that has always happened in marriages. People have always, understate or overstate whatever it is that they've been doing. Is it great? I'm not saying it's great, but I'm saying it is around. That's all I'm saying.
Because of my mistake. So thank you so much for your speech, Shana.
Wow. I got to mind my own business.
Yeah. You should mind your business.
So while Shana must mind her own business, the damsel in distress story, I'm not buying it. Like I said before, until you remove Shayla, you cannot get me on your side. I'm sorry, friends. I'm sorry, Amber fans, that I have to call a spade because that's what it is. All of what you just blurted out has lines that can come back at you. Is Anthony disgusting? Yes. Yes, he is. But you don't get to use just the Anthony thing as your plausibility without giving me the marker for Shayla. And for those who keep saying that they're not friends, she said it again. They are friends. Anyways, give me a take, like, share, comment, subscribe, and talk to you all soon.